Purdue. I saw a stat. They were the first team to knock off two top 10 teams in back-to-back games by more than 18 points since the 1968 UCLA Bruins, when they had, I believe, Lou Alcindor was the star of that team, a young man by the name of that ended up changing his name, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So does that mean, Gio, Zac Edey, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, same thing, right?
Shut it down.
I don't want to say all that. I don't want to go that far, but he's been real dominant, man. I don't want to compare him to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at all, though.
T.O., what do you make of this Purdue team?
They're put together really well, and you have an absolute horse in the middle in Zac Edey, who not only is 7'4", 7'5", whatever he is, guys, but he embraces physicality, and he's not a skinny 7'5". Like, this dude is strong. He's got an enormous legs. He's able to hold position. Some of those guys, sometimes you can get up underneath them and root them out. Not this dude. You can see his hockey background coming through, and he's really coordinated for 7'4", 7'5". Like, is he going to be an NBA guy? Probably not, because they're just going to put him out on an island. It's going to be really tough for him. But at this level, at the college level, in the year of the big, like the Almanac says, like, he's a perfect fit. And Painter's put a lot of shooting and unselfish pieces around him to really facilitate what he's good at. So, and he had a great quote after the game. I need to be a steadying force for a lot of these younger players, and he has certainly been that. If you're averaging over 20 and 10 over the course of this, over every game this season, I mean, he's impressive. And Paint knows. Bill Self, I like to say, is the most creative guy at getting creative post touches. Painter's right there, and not that you have to get all that damn creative, but he's right there.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I don't know if he's necessarily creative, and Gio, you could probably speak better on this than I can. I don't know if it's as much creative as they're so good at drilling what they do, and everybody on that team knows exactly what's expected of them and exactly the role that they are supposed to be playing. And they're all bought into this idea of, yeah, we got this 7'4" mountain of a man at the 5 that literally nobody can stop. I was laughing watching Derek Lively and Kyle Filipowski try to guard him. Like, those are large human beings, Derek Lively and Kyle Filipowski, and they're sitting there leaning on Zac Edey. They're sitting there pushing him with every ounce of strength that they have, and it's nothing. It's like my son trying to push me, right? That's kind of what it looked like. So, Gio, break this team down for me. Talk to me about what they do, about why they're so effective, about why you can lose players as good as Jaden Ivey and Trevion Williams and not, like, let's be honest, not miss a beat.
I mean, it goes back to Coach Painter, right? The system that he's built, right? You know, the players that he brings in culture guys every time. These aren't 5-star guys, right? Dudes that are looking for NIL money. Coach Painter has made it very clear exactly what he wants in a program. And it's really pick your poison. Like, you have Edey down low, and then obviously if you double, he's, developed that part of his game where I think he had 3 assists today, 0 turnovers. Like, he's able to make the passes as well, where now it's literally pick your poison. If you're gonna get beat by the 3, you're gonna get beat by Edey. And that's kind of how Purdue has always been constructed. They've always ran so many plays off the ball where they're getting their shooters open, and then that second option is always just look down low to the post. And I think they've done a great job of that this year, just being so balanced. And you can see every guy, like, there's no egos on that team at all. Like, everyone is starring in their role. If you look at Caleb First, he had a double-double today, right? But all of his points are really coming off of offensive rebounds, hustle plays, right? 50-50 balls. Ethan Morton, not someone who's really getting any baskets, but he was super important piece of that win today and what he was doing. The same thing, 50-50 balls, rebounds, assists. Every guy is just kind of they're just starring their role, right? They're doing all the little things, and everyone's bought in. And I think that's really hard to do, especially this early in the year.
Mm-hmm. So you beat them, I believe, 3 times in your career when you were at Rutgers, right?
Yeah, a good couple of times, like 3 times maybe. I think that might be on the low end.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm pretty. It's at least 3. I don't know. I can't remember how long. You might have been there. You might have been like a 6-year senior by the time.
Talk your shit, Gio.
Let them know, Gio.
Oh yeah, they don't like me over at Mackey, man. They don't like me over at Mackey. But yeah, I played against them a good amount of times for sure.
So talk to me about how you slow that offense down, right? I think we kind of came into this game thinking like Duke is a pretty good defensive team. They have some pieces that work. They have some switchable guys. They've kind of prided themselves, and Shire's made it very clear that they want that to be their identity. And it just, I mean, they kind of figured stuff out in the second half, but in the first half, man, like whatever Purdue wanted to get, Purdue got. So how do you slow them down? How do you beat them? How do you stop that offense?
I think it goes back honestly to what T.O. said about Zac Edey being an NBA player, right? Like, you need to get him tired. You need to get him in ball screen situations every single play. If you look at our games against them, they would come down, run a bunch of intricate plays. We would come right back, and it was all ball screen action. We didn't get anything off it. We're swinging it, and again, ball screen action, trying to get him moving, getting him tired. He played, I think, 32 minutes today, right? You need to have Edey working at all times on the defensive end, so that way when it gets down to offense, he's a little bit more tired where he's not getting all these easy buckets. But also I think the other thing is I wouldn't double the post, right? I don't think he's at the point now where he can easily kick it out and guys are getting open threes. Going back to picking your poison, like I think I would rather see them just play Edey one-on-one, see what you get from there, but you need to get him moving on that defensive end. You need to get him tired up and down. It's a big dude, right? So I'm putting him in ball screen situations the whole time. He's not getting up to hedge. He's not getting up to trap, right? He's going to be in a deep drop every single play.
Yeah, Tio, I think what I saw in this game, and you correct me if I'm wrong here, they tried to put him in ball screen actions and they just played him in drop, and the dude couldn't do anything because there wasn't enough spacing with the lack of shooting that they had on the perimeter there. I mean, Tio, you've watched them. What do you think the ceiling for this Purdue team? Because I'm kind of torn. I know how your opinions on the Big Ten, and we don't kind of really need to rehash.
I'm not. Hey, I
gotta hear these opinions too. I gotta hear these opinions.
No, the short version is that the Big Ten is such a veteran league that they're kind of pretty close to finished products now, and there's going to be other teams that catch up to them by the end of the year. But what do you think this Purdue's team ceiling is? Because I'm looking at it right now. KenPom is updated. They are 6th nationally in KenPom, which is about where they were last year, which is about where they were in the Carson Edwards year, which is about where they were when they had Isaac Haas anchoring everything in 2018. Like it's just constant with Matt Painter and this team. What is their ceiling?
It's still hard to say, and for what it's worth, I still feel strongly that the Big Ten is closer to a finished product than everybody else. But I got to give credit where credit's due. Purdue's been terrific, and so is the rest of the Big Ten. So let me just put that out there. My opinion's still my opinion, but I just got to make sure that you have to give credit where credit's due. Payne's done a great job early. The difference with this year's team is I think this Purdue team can continue to get better because some of those guards are younger.
Real young.
I think that's a big portion of this. Like they're still learning to play, and they lost Trevion Williams, but here's the flip side of that. In my opinion, you get more consistency with one guy. Like you had to change some things up whenever Trevion was in the game. You had to change. You ran different stuff whenever Edey was in the game. Now you can be a little bit more consistent, and Edey can get more comfortable. If those guards continue to get better and they shoot the ball well in the tournament, it doesn't make any sense why they wouldn't be an Elite Eight team. That's a big thing for me, but they're going to have to shoot it well. And if they run into a team, for example, I don't know, because they played well last year, like a Miami who has Isaiah Wong, who can come off those ball screens and attack a guy who's playing drop coverage and score, that's where Purdue's going to have problems, right? So it's all matchup based with Purdue because of that size. But at the same time, this is a team that's going to continue to get better.
Yeah, I also do think that the freshman Kaufman, I'm blanking on his name, and Caleb First, I do think are big enough to be able to allow them to have kind of different looks, right? Remember last year when they would play Trevion at the 5 and they would kind of get a little bit more switchable. I think that they are going to be able to do that this year. All right,